give it a few moments here before I kick things in. Go grab some stuff here. Oh. We'll see if anybody jumps on here. I'm getting stuff ready around here to leave. Oh, hummingbird. To head out to the West Coast in a couple weeks to go teach a 3-day collie camp. Looking forward to that. My good man Keenan is hosting it over in Long Beach, Washington. Hello, Group Paul. Hey, what's happening? What's happening? Yeah, it's September 26th through the 28th. I'll be in Long Beach, Washington. Not Long Beach, California. Long Beach, Washington. Teaching a 3-day collie camp. This camp is great for beginners. It's great for experienced practitioners. Anybody is welcome to join me and join the group. We have a great group that's already registered. We got more spots that are available. Mark, what's happening? We got a lot of good spots. And is there anyone who teaches collie in Michigan? Yeah, where are you in Michigan? I've got Kaylee teaches out there. Ben teaches in Michigan. You might have to drive, but yeah, I'm actually going to be talking about that, training and stuff. Glad you are coming. Really excited. It'll be great to meet you in person. Yeah, it'll be great to meet you. FF, what is your actual name? Besides FF, if you mind sharing. If you don't want to share publicly here, that's totally cool. I'll meet you anyways. But then I just at least know who I'm talking to besides FF. Ludington area. You'll have to drive a little bit, but over by Grand Rapids. Ben's out that way, and Kaylee's out that way. Ben, I think, does kind of like smaller stuff. Ben's one of our advanced guys. Kaylee's really good. She's awesome. She's a badass warrior. I know she has classes out there where she is. You'd have to email me. I can get you their information or send you over. Fred, there you go. I should have guessed that with FF there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting you too, man. It's going to be great. We're going to have some great training. It's going to be awesome. I'm always super appreciative and really excited about those that come and participate in our training events at our camps and stuff, because there's nothing like real in-person training and getting that energy and being able to exchange like that and share for real. And then for us, the way we like to do it with Collie Center is, we try to make sure we go to lunch together, grab dinner a few nights, something like that, and so that way we can really not just train together, but we can, you guys can get to know me, I get to know you, and, all that stuff. So we like to do that. What do I search for to find them in Grand Rapids? You'll have to email me. If you go to colliecenter.com, if you use the email form there, the email page, just send me an email. I'm still redoing stuff on the website, and I'll be getting the chapter leaders back up on the site. I'm just kind of redoing stuff. So right now they're not up on the site right now, but they will be once again. But if you want to kind of get in touch with Ben and or Kaylee quicker, just send me an email and then I can get you in touch with them. So I know Ben does a lot of training. He does some other training that's outside of Collie as well, and that guy's always training and always experimenting with stuff. And by the way, the new site design is outstanding. Thank you, Fred. I'm glad that you like that. I spent a little bit of time on that. So yeah, I'm really excited. I actually have a couple events coming up at the end of September. We got the 3-day camp over in Long Beach, Washington, September 26th through the 28th. We still have spots available. Sign up for it. I'll probably cut off the sign up date probably like by the 22nd or the 23rd. I'll probably close registration for that. So if you are planning on attending the Washington training camp, the 3-day camp, get signed, stop waiting, and just get registered ASAP. Once I close it, that's it. For ITC, I was really disappointed. And I understand that sometimes things happen in life, but I let a couple people slip through and all that after the date that I close it, and I shouldn't have done that because they didn't show up anyways. So I'm not going to do that ever again. I'm done. I'm done being graceful like that. I've got other things I got to do, and put my attention to in my life. And I think it's not really fair for the people that really want Kali and really want it. It takes a lot of energy out of me to prepare that stuff. And like when I do stuff like that, I gotta rebuild the payment program, the payment buttons. I gotta go back and I gotta redo a bunch of stuff. I don't mind really doing that for people that are actually going to show up. But then if you don't, like, you're not going to and if you don't show up, I'm never going to hear from you ever again. Like, that's just, let's call it what it is. Like, I won't hear from you. So I don't want to be putting all this extra effort and time into people that just aren't really going to be doing it. So if you're 100% sure, or at least 90% sure that you're like, dude, I'm going to be there. Like, I want to do this. Sign up. Just sign up and then be there, because we want you there. I want you there. I want to share Kali with you, and I want to train with you, but only with the ones that really want it. And then maybe you just want to try it one time and kind of experience me and Kali Center and see what we're about. And if it's not a good fit, it's not a good fit. But at least going to be there. Then I'm absolutely always happy to put that time, effort into you. Fairly new to Kali, and I'm loving it. My reflexes are getting faster. I tried to shoot a web out of my wrist. Thank you for videos. I have. Cool. Trying to be like Spider-Man or something? I don't know. Your videos are great, man. I've had a lot of improvement. Thank you. Awesome. I'm really glad. I hope so. If you're really doing what I'm putting out there, you're gonna make improvements. And that's kind of something I want to jump on here and just kind of talk about, because this video, this live coming on here, it's really about training, and it's about the authenticity, and I guess you could say integrity. I don't really like the word integrity. I think it's more of a value than a virtue, because there's a scale to it. The way I like to, this is just my own, take it or leave it. But I have virtues, and then I have values, right? And virtues are things that are unscalable. Values are things that are scalable, right? So when you talk about something like integrity, say like, this person has integrity. You might think I have integrity, but you might think I have integrity. This person might think I have no integrity. It doesn't necessarily make anybody right or wrong, but you see how there's a value slide on that. So to me, integrity is a value. It's not a virtue. When you look at something like truth, right? Like there is certain truth. It's either truth or it's not truth. There's no scale. That's not scalable. Okay. Honesty is scalable. Honesty is a value, but truth itself is not scalable, right? It is what it is, and that's it. So for me, truth, that's a virtue. Okay. And then the honesty is the value in the scale of which you apply that virtue. Does that make sense? That's how I view things. That's how I look at things. But in the authenticity and the integrity and the value of the training and in the art, that's really what I want to talk about right now. About at least once or twice a month, I go through comments. Every day I check comments, new comments that come in, and I read them. I don't respond to everything, because there's a lot that comes in, and I got other YouTube channels, and I'm reading all the comments and stuff. But I do read all of the comments that come in. good ones, not so good ones, you know, positive, negative, whatever it is. And at least once or twice a month, I get a comment about sparring videos. I just got one today on my previous video. And let me change here. I don't want my phone to overheat. Let me go ahead and put this in the shade. But at least once or twice a month, I get comments on, hey, man, like, do you ever put up any sparring videos? You know, it'd be good to, we always see these drills and you know, we never, on YouTube here, and we never get to see sparring and real application and real world reality application stuff. Here's the thing. One, sparring is not real world application, by the way. Real world application and sparring are two different things. Sparring, here at College Center, sparring isn't special. Sparring is just another type of drill. Sparring is not special here. Pressure testing is not special here. These are just parts of training. We don't have a Saturday morning sparring day. Never had that in my school when I had my brick and mortar. We don't have every third Saturday as pressure test day. These things are just part of all the time training. They're just training. If you got to add special pressure testing days or sparring days, to me, what the hell is your training then the rest of the week? Okay? It makes no sense to me. What are you doing? Now, here's the thing. I have put out sparring videos in the past. I have been doing College Center alone. This is before RFA, before my other stuff. College Center has been around now as of the beginning of this month for 11 years. I've been making videos on this channel, and I have touched just about, almost, not every, but just about almost all aspects of this art on this channel. I have put sparring videos on this channel, all kinds. I've put me and Tom with the gear on, the masks, the gloves, the rattan. I've done sparring videos with no gear on, just the rattan or just the training knives. I've done slow flow videos, warm-up flow videos. And over 11 years of putting these videos out, these videos get the least amount of views. Literally, the sparring videos that I put out there get like 400 or 500 views. And then they sit there for years. And then I've even tried to sneak in little sparring clips at the end of videos. And what that tells me as a content creator, when I put an actual sparring video out there by request, and by the way, the people that request these videos, when I do those videos, they never comment on them. So to me, they probably never even watched them. But I fulfilled these requests in the past, and they get no views. But then I put out a double stick solo drill, some Sinawali patterns, and those videos will get tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of views. As a content creator, if you were in my position as a content creator, somebody that makes income from YouTube videos and from your training courses and stuff like that, what does that tell you about the content that people want to consume on your channel? Right? That would tell me that people are not actually interested in the sparring. So the people that say that, the people that make those comments, there's one of two things that is actually going on with those comments. Either A, which is the hope, that they are truly seeking education in this martial art. But if they were, then over the last 11 years, they would have made an attempt to come out and train with me, right? If they really wanted to get the education, at least from my perspective, from the Kali Center perspective, they would have made an attempt within the last 11 years to come out and train with me at one of my events, at least once, right? Don't you think that? So A is probably out of the equation. So it falls down to the other most likely thing that they're really trying to go for. And that's either they're trying to prove or disprove something, because they're either trying to fulfill, to reach a feeling, or they're trying to run away from a feeling, right? Which means it's really entertainment. And I think that is the main reason why sparring videos were requested by these individuals. I mean, my statistics on YouTube, my analytics, when I go in the back of my YouTube channel, I can look at all of this stuff. And over the years, over the last 11 years, this channel has grown, coming up to 216,000 subscribers. That's a lot of people. It's not a lot of people, but it's a lot of people. And over the past 5 years, the subscriber count of people watching my videos that are subscribed have been going down. And most of my views today come from new viewers who are not subscribed. 75 to 80% of my viewers on this channel are not subscribed and or are new viewers, finding the videos from YouTube recommendations. So there might be people that are still making these comments that are seeking education, but there's probably still most of these people making these "where are your sparring video" comments that are really just trying to prove or disprove something. Oh, you guys don't do that. Kali's fake. Kali doesn't work in the real world. But that means you're feeling something. That means there's probably a feeling of fear that's really stemming from, or intimidation, or not knowing, unknowing, right? It's like the classic saying, we fear what we don't know. And I know that people that view the YouTube channel, they don't really know what our training is in person, because I don't show it to you on the channel. I give little glimpses here and there, little 2-3 minute high cut video of an ITC camp highlights, but that doesn't really show you what really happens during the 50+ hours of training at an ITC camp. It doesn't even give you a taste of the experience. It doesn't even give you a staple of the emotional state that we go through at those trainings. And I know that. And I do that on purpose. Okay? And there's a reason why, before I get into that, when I put a sparring video out that gets no more than 400 or 500 views, and then it sits there idle for 2, 3, 5+ years, then I make the decision I'm going to put that video on the membership area of this channel. And then sometimes I get those comments of, you put your stuff behind a paid wall. Yeah, I get to do that. This is my channel. This is my presentation of information. And then I get called greedy, all for the money. Let me share my perspective. And I know that these people are probably never going to watch this, but it's still important to say. It's important to say for the other people in my community that won't say this, the people that are teaching, the people that are in my position. It's still important to say it, because a lot of these people will never come on here and say it because they're afraid. Silence shows the highest level of authority. Not all the time. Not all the time. Not when there's anything to be said. But here's my perspective on the greediness. These people that ask for everything with nothing in return, or as minimal in return, the greedy ones. For the past 11 years, I have put over 1,200 videos on this channel that's given you free access to watch. I have fulfilled video requests from time to time, even though I knew that they get no views, no response from these people making the requests. Let's look at what I've gone through over the last really 11 plus years. I've been involved in FMA alone for the last 26 years, since I've been 15 years old. I'm 41. I'll do the math for you. You don't even need to be a genius and do the math. I've been involved in martial arts since I was 6 years old, my entire life. FMA since I was 15. Okay? I have paid a lot of money for my training and for my education. I have paid a lot of time. I have literally bled all over this country. I have bled all over this land for my education and my experience. Literally, I have had broken bones. I have had stitches. I have been, this is not bragging. This is me paying. Telling you what I've paid for to put my greed into perspective of the greed of these freeloaders. I have paid medical bills with and without health insurance. I have risked so much of my safety and my time and my money for my education in this art and in other martial arts over the last 26 years, since I was 15, in this art alone. And I am then expected, now, not only that, but I've made training programs that, in my opinion, are ridiculously financially dirt cheap. I should be, my knife fighting course that I charge $350 for, and I give a 20, 30, 40, 50, 60% discount code for, I should be charging thousands of dollars for that course, because it has literally cost me thousands of dollars, hundreds, if not thousands of training hours in development and research of putting that course together for you. Just that course alone. And I've sacrificed so much money to make it as affordable as I can. And in my opinion, is not financially fair to me. But I do that. And these people, these freeloaders, still go onto a YouTube channel of mine and ask for more free. Show me the real stuff. This, like the comment today, this person decides to say, nobody sparring videos up and puts the real application stuff of this art on YouTube, and then you go to these seminars and they don't spar. Right. I've been saying this for the last 10 plus years on my channel here. This is why I created Kali Center. Come to my events. This is the difference of Kali Center. If you want to spar me at a Kali Center training event, just ask and I will oblige. I will fulfill your request. Me or any of my advanced practitioners are more than happy to fulfill your request. Because this has not been about money for me. This journey has not been about collecting views and subscribers for me. It helps. It helps me. The money that does come in helps me to keep this stuff going. But it is not why I did it. I did not begin Kali Center. I did not open up the RFA Martial Academy back in 2011 when I left Elite Defense Systems. I did not open up my school to be a teacher. I've never wanted to be a teacher. I have always made this abundantly clear during my entire time here on YouTube and training. I have been only seeking training partners. The entire purpose of Kali Center is so that I can train with more people. I can dive into Kali. I can go deeper into it. And during the process of this, I can share with other people. I can give people the experience that I've always wanted within this art. And this commenter was absolutely right. It's why I stopped going to seminars, because we were not training. We'd do a drill that had nothing to do with combat, had nothing to do with application. And you're right. And this is the difference of Kali Center. And when you come to train with Kali Center in person, you're going to experience these things. And you get to experience these things at the comfortable level for you. We are not here to beat people up. We are not here, Kali Center, we are not here to try to prove ourselves to people coming to our events. This is not a dog brother gathering. That is not what we're doing. If you want to train with us at that level, you can seek myself or one of my advanced practitioners, and we will give you the experience that you are looking for. But what we want to achieve is to share the true value of this art. We want you to learn it. We have a passion of actually sharing the true values of this art. We are not going to, I am not going to give that away for free on YouTube. I've already tried, and you don't want it. The people that ask for it don't want that. They have shown me through the analytics of this entire past 11 plus year journey of mine that people are not actually interested in that content, not for the education. I have probably hundreds, more so Tom, has hundreds of hours of collected footage of him sparring, flowing, and fighting. People who have come to ITC camps have witnessed Tom and I, after training, after dinner, when it's dark, campfires are going, they have witnessed Tom and I fight for 20, 30 minutes. Not sparring, not friendly training, fucking fighting each other. Literally dislocating joints, knuckles on our hands. They've witnessed this. Tom and I have many, many hours of this footage that we will never release here on YouTube to the general public. And the reason why we will not do it is because our training is ours. It is not for your entertainment. But if you want to come and experience training at that level, we are happy to give it to you here at Kali Center. If you want to come in and experience the training to your liking, whatever your liking is, we want to give that to you. We're happy to give that to you. Okay? It doesn't have to be intense. We're not looking for people to reach, whatever our expectation. That is not the standard of Kali Center. The standard of Kali Center is for you to show up and you to learn this art and do your best. For you to get the experience out of it, what you want to get out of it. However it is going to help you become better at this art, whatever you're seeking out of it. And hopefully that will move into other areas of your life, and you could live your life with improved quality in all other aspects of your life through the medium of training this art. That is really what we want to achieve. It goes beyond the fighting. The fighting is nothing. It is the smallest component here at Kali Center. When you get to a point in your training and you've been doing this long enough and you've sparred and fought with enough people, you don't care about that anymore. I don't care about the fighting. I don't care about the violence. I don't care about the self-defense aspects of this art anymore. It's just gone beyond that for people like me and Tom and Ollie and John. It's just about becoming better at this art and finding ways to live life with a higher quality. That's what it becomes. That's why when you see the logo of Kali Center in its colored form, you have the little bold dark blue triangle, and then it becomes lighter and lighter as you ascend. because that's the experience that people go through within this art, most martial arts. When they're new to the art, it's the best thing in the world, and they're bold. You can't beat this. This is the best art in the world. We have weapons. How do you beat that? You can't beat that. And there's a lot of pride within the art, as there should be. It's new, it's exciting, it's fun, it's emotionally exhilarating. But as the time becomes years and decades, the boldness of that goes away. It goes away. And there's no more want. There's no more higher meaning in the practice other than it's just what I do. You know? It's what I want to do. It's just I have to do it now. I hope this makes sense to people. So no, I am not, again, going to fulfill these types of video requests and on a public platform like YouTube, I'm not going to share these true intricacies of Kali because this is a public platform. I have no idea who you are watching this. You know, years ago, I did a video. You can find the video. It was about the realities of the knife, and it was something about the pill that's hard to swallow. So if you type in Kali Center, knife, pill, hard to swallow, you'll see the video. And I made this video, and I talked about the experience of myself and some of my seniors, like Tom and Ali, and the experience that we've had in the training that we've decided to put into our own experience. And someone in the FMA community decided to call me out as an irresponsible teacher because I made the comment that, you know, my staff, like we've all been to the ER due to our training for one reason or another. A lot of reasons that like we never saw coming. And it was not like some kind of cut or broken bone. There's other reasons why you might have to go to the ER when you train in the experimental ways that we have trained, that we made that decision. I never forced it on anybody. Nobody ever had to do it. But the real thing is, if I would put the real deepness, the real meanings, the real applications of Kali on this open YouTube platform, that would make me an absolute irresponsible teacher of this art. Not knowing the people with I think most people are good intention, but there's a lot of people out there with bad intentions. And I don't want to be putting that out there. You can get your ideas. Bad people can get their ideas enough. I don't need to add to that. The people that come to train with me in person, these people are people that are 99.9% of the time are good-hearted, good-intended people. People with bad intentions, they don't want to work hard. They are not going to want to do our training. It's fucking hard. You're going to be tired. It's work. They don't want to work for it. They want to take the path of least resistance. In our training, if you want to get to the skill of Tom, Ollie, John, you know, where Sarah's going and Kaylee and Ben, you're going to have to face some resistance. Resistance in the training and resistance within yourself. You're going to face a lot of yourself in our training. You have to. It's just the process that you have to go through. You know, and those people with bad intention, they don't want to do that. They are people of opportunity, low-hanging fruit opportunity. They seek the path of least resistance, and that's what they want. Why are they the best geometric? Because it's the strongest shape that exists. And it's the shape that makes all other shapes. It is the only true shape that exists. It is literally, the triangle is literally the square root of all other shapes and all other geometry. That's why it's the best. So the other thing with the art is that Kali is a dying art. This is an alive art that we are watching die. When we look into the world of HEMA, I think it's really cool that people are trying to research and experiment and resurrect historical European martial arts. But these arts are dead. Maybe they can resurrect them and bring them back alive. Probably not, because they're not really being used. Those strategies, maybe the strategies, but a lot of those tactics, the weaponry, the techniques, they're not being used in combat today, in warfare today. I'm not talking about self-defense. I'm talking about warfare. I'm talking about combat. Though Britain is not using their old style of swordsmanship in combat today. Spain is not using la verdadera destreza or destreza vulgar in their military today. Okay? They're not doing it. These are dead arts. The grandmasters and all that, they're gone. Kali, the grandmasters of Kali are dying. They're on their way out of this life. And Kali is alive because there's still a few of them that are alive. But the Philippine Force Recon Marines are still using this art in war to this day. They're still training this art for the intention of combat. And we don't know how much longer that's going to last. But the truth is, you're not going to go to the Philippines and just go train with these retired Marines. A lot of these guys, once they retire, they're done. They're done with it. You know, Ali and I, we have bolos of retired Force Recon Marines. They're like, you guys take this. I don't want this anymore. I'm done with this. You're not going to go train with those people. So the art itself, it's slowly dying. And seminars, not just mine, but when I watch the highlights of other FMA teacher seminars, I'm watching these numbers decline. It's not, and now it always goes up and down, right? Trends. But we are watching it's not doing this. It is doing this, right? The art is dying, and we're watching it die. And the only way to keep it alive, truly alive, is by getting in-person instruction and training. You know, when I started this YouTube channel, when I started the online training stuff with Kali Center, I took a lot of shit for it in the beginning. This was all before COVID, before people were forced to shut down their schools, and then they were in panic survivor mode and had to make money. This was before that. I started my online school. I was experimenting with online training back in 2013. I had an old website back when I was RFA Martial Academy in Windy City, PTK. I had an old website called rfacommunity.com. And this is where I was experimenting with online training that was to assist people that were training with me at my school, in my classes, or that were coming to my training seminars, traveling to come train with me, and they wanted to continue their training with me. Then I would upsell them to this $15 a month website. But for Kali Center, I opened my online school, the first variation of it, January 3rd of 2015. I started Kali Center September 5th of 2014, knowing it would get me kicked out out of the FMA organization that I was a part of at that time. I was kicked out a month later, almost to the date. I started the channel September 5th, uploaded the first 2 videos September 6th of 2014, opened up my online school, the first version of it, officially launched it January 3rd of 2015. I never intended Kali Center and my online training stuff to replace in-person training. That has never been my intention. It was to fill the gap of time in between of classes or in between of training events that people would and could attend. That was the purpose of it, not to replace those things. Over the years, as I watch comments come in and I'm reading comments, for many people, the majority of people, minus Fred on here, who's coming out to see me in Washington, and minus some people that go to training events, whether they're mine or somebody else's, but most people, I feel it has replaced the in-person training, the real training, which is the integrity of the art and the authenticity of the art. And that is where the art survives, is in the real training, the person-to-person contact, the ability to look at each other in the eyes and have face-to-face conversation and face-to-face training. That is where the art truly survives. Not in the videos, not in sparring videos. You know, I put up sparring videos and I put up challenges. You know, tell me what strategies you see. Tell me what tactics you see. Pick any technique in this 3-minute sparring video and tell me down below why it worked or it didn't work. Take me through the process of it. Prove to me that you actually know what you're looking at and you understand it. Nobody's ever done it. I mean, Tom's done it, but he would come to me in person because we train in person and then we would talk about it. But nobody on the internet has ever done that. They've never completed one of those challenges. Never. Not one time. You know, so that's why, you know, the content is what the content is. That's why I put it out. That's why you don't see sparring videos anymore, and you probably won't see sparring videos of mine anymore. I'm not going to fulfill those requests. You know, this person goes with this comment, well, you know, yeah, you got to go to these seminars to go spar, and then you go to these seminars and they don't spar. Well, you have not been to one of mine. I don't know who you are. Because if you have been to one of my seminars, one of my training camps, you would not have said that to me. 1,000% guarantee you would not have said that to me if you have attended one of my actual training camps. I make it a point that I train with everybody. That's why I have a limited number of people that attend. So that I can make sure that I get in with everybody at least once, preferably multiple times, and move with you and train with you. And I train with you at your level because I want to train with you. I want you to get better. Okay? We can do that together. I don't have to train at my 100% with a newbie for me to improve my understanding and my skills at Kali with a new person. I don't have to do that. I've been doing this for a very long time. I know how to train with different types, different levels of people where I can still get a benefit out of it. I can train here by myself and still make progress in my training. And when I go and I train with my advanced guys, because my advanced guys are fucking good. Okay, you want to know like the reality side of Kali and Kali Center and the way that we do it. You would not be, the world is not in a place to see the reality of that. It's not in a place. And here on YouTube, I can't because one, it's against YouTube guidelines and they'll just remove my channel. So you won't see that. Even with, you know, the level of like where Tom and I might train. If Tom was to attack me in real life, here's the God honest truth of Kali. At my skill level, I would consider myself an advanced practitioner, and Tom is absolutely an advanced practitioner. I would consider myself a higher skill than Tom. And Tom would most likely agree with that. If Tom decided to attack me for real with a knife and I'm empty-handed, 99.999 repetitive percent, I will not survive that altercation. Tom will kill me. He'll win. He'll get that. Maybe I'd get a shot in there. Probably won't matter. Really, it wouldn't matter. And the reason for that is because I've trained Tom so fucking good. And Tom has trained himself in the material so damn good. I would fight back, do what I can, but I'm not coming out of that. I wouldn't come out of that. And because of that, because Tom and I have been training at such a level for the last 16, 17 years, that's why Tom is the only person in the world that I have 100 complete percent trust in. He's the only one. So, you know, I've given a lot of videos that had real education. I did a knife tapping video that was real education, the truth about knife tapping. After that little ad came out of a guy showing how knife tapping doesn't work, I'm like, no fucking shit. That's not the point of knife tapping. This person clearly has never trained knife tapping a day in their fucking life. They've never gotten the lesson. Most FMA people have never really trained knife tapping. They don't know what the actual purpose of knife tapping is and the skill of knife tapping. And I made a video to clarify this. It was like a 20, 30-minute video. It was me and Chris, my student, Chris Clark. It was us. We made the video. It was 20, 30 minutes. I went through the whole thing, and it got like no fucking views. But people want the reality. I get these comments. People want the reality. They want the education of this stuff. And then when I put the reality and I put the education out there, nobody cares. I know that I don't do the clickbait titles. I know I don't do the fancy, cool AI-generated thumbnails. I've stayed true to my content since day one. My content is about training. I don't fly around the world making videos with Steven Seagal and you know, the power lifters of the world and all these celebrity people trying to get views and grow this channel to millions of subscribers and millions of views per video. And, you know, I don't do that. This channel has never been about that. College Center has never been a community that's been about clout. It's never been about politics of the martial arts. It's never been about any of that stuff. This channel and this entire College Center community has never been about me. My training is for me. But this sharing of this has never been about me. It has always been about the few people that are out there really seeking the education of Kali and of my presentation, my experience and my presentation of Kali, my martial art of it, my combat expression of this art through my experience, my time, my money, my blood that I have bled for this art. Okay? I have never tried to pull people single-handedly only to Kali Center. Over the last 11 years, I have always said, go train with whoever you can, train with a bunch of people, find who you connect with. Even the people that over the last 10 plus years have made the decisions to talk shit about me, to make fun of me, to make fun of the shirts that I wear, my hair, make fun of how I talk, how I train, who I've never met. By the way, I've never met any of these people ever in my life. I've never had a face-to-face conversation with any of these people who have talked shit about me, who's made fun of me. Within this community, doing nothing but supporting this fucking community of FMA for the last, I mean, really 26 years of my life, far before these people ever even got involved in this community, this art. Man, I've done all of this for people who really want to learn this art. I mean, I don't even know why I'm doing this shit. All this off-grid, all this, having this property, having all this fucking shit. I don't even care about this for myself. I'm building a place so that people can come fucking train. I'm spending money. I'm bleeding. I'm injuring myself to build shit. I'm gonna be building cabins and stuff for people to stay in. People can come and camp out, and you know, like in my inner triangle, people that train with me that have proven themselves to me over the years, I don't charge them a freaking penny to train with me. And they can come here, they can train with me for a day, a week, a month, a year. They can come live here for the rest of their fucking life. I don't give a shit. And they can come train. And I'll teach them. And they don't have to pay me a fucking penny. These are my inner triangle people. One day, maybe you'll be inner triangle. You got to prove yourself for that. You'll know who you are, because if you don't have the thing, then you're not inner triangle. And you might be a candidate. You might be a candidate for inner triangle and not even know it. But I don't charge these people. I could be making tens of thousands of dollars, on average $40,000 to $50,000 a year off of the people that are inner triangle here with Kali Center, and I refuse to do that. And the reason why is because these people have shown me, have proven to me that they have a commitment, a devotion, that they want to learn this art. They want the real education. They don't want me to put up sparring videos on YouTube. These people actually come and freaking train. And I'm happy to give it to them. They can just come and get it. And I don't need all of this stuff. I don't need it. I have invested so much money. I built an online training platform and for people to do online classes, live stream classes and live stream one-on-one coaching with Tom. And I can't fulfill all this stuff by myself. So I gave Tom the position to be able to do these things because, dude, like if you're training with Kali Center, dude, you should be training with myself, with Tom, with John, with Ollie. Like, you should be training with these people. These are the best of the best in Kali Center. And I give these positions, I create these opportunities. John and I literally have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to build this platform for people. And I'm like, Tom, how's it going, man? Because people are signing up. People were signing up. And he's like, dude, nobody's showing up this month to the live stream classes. Nobody is reaching out. No, I'm reaching out to people. Nobody wants to do these live stream one-on-one trainings. You know, Sarah's showing up to the live stream classes. That's it. Huh. So what does that show me? Guys, I mean, $20 a month. And you get 2 live stream classes, $30 or $40 a month. You get live one-on-one privates. And I'm like, anybody that is in that, just come out to my training camps. I'm going to give you a severe discount. Contact me. I'll train with you privately. You can come to my home and train with me. I've given so fucking much to people. And then it's like nothing. Nothing. This is why it's a dying art, my friends. People are not interested. Very few people, less than half of 1% of the people on this planet are actually interested in the real education of this art. And that is why it's dying. And I am happy to give it to that less than half of 1% of the people on this planet, of good people on this planet, the people that are going to come out and train with me. I am happy to share all of it with you. I can't do it all at once. I mean, if you ask, I can. It'll overload you and bombard your mind. Your brain will probably blow up. You know, but I am happy to share everything I possibly can of this art with you. For the betterment of you, and an opportunity that maybe I have maybe a slight chance of gaining another training partner. That's my doing Collie Center. I don't have to do this. You know, I could spend the rest of my life just Tom and I just training and fuck everybody else. I don't have to do this. You know, and one thing that I don't understand is, you know, for the last 10 years, sorry, this is a rant about how I feel about this art. But for the last 10 years, you know, like people, I've heard the same people for 10 years. I'm going to get out to it, man. I'm going to get out to one of your events, man. I'm going to meet you. I'm going to get you. I'm coming for 11 years. The same people have been saying the same message over and over and over again. Now, for the last 11 years, I've been training. For the last 26 years, I've been training. For the last 16 or 17 years, whatever it is, Tom and I have been training together. And these people have been talking about training for the last 11 years. And I'm probably not the only one that they've been saying this bullshit to. I'm calling y'all out right now. I had to do it too. I can't train with you. I can't afford it. I couldn't afford it. Dude, I was a 18, 19, 20-year-old kid. I couldn't afford it. I had to figure out how to go scrap a few $100 and some gas in a car to go travel, to go train with the people I wanted to go train with, that I wanted to experience this with. I had to do the same thing. Sleep in my fucking car. Go find a Walmart parking lot. Hopefully they allow 24-hour parking so I can go sleep, so I can go and train with these people. Dude, I had to do it. But I wanted it. I want the education. So I went and I made it happen. And that's what it takes. If you really want this stuff, you will find a way to make it happen. And if my training, as I've said 1,000 times before, if you can't afford to come out to my training, fucking contact me. Email me, dude. It's so easy to get a hold of me. And if I don't get back to you, it's probably because, look, you're not the only email that I get. And if I don't get back to you in a couple of weeks or a month, guess what? Email me again and email me again and blast me. Comment on all of my videos. Send me every email. Like, dude, just freaking until I get your attention, dude. I need to get your attention. It's really easy. But I've had to do the same thing. And I'm going to throw this out there. Here's a reality check in comparison to my quote-unquote competitors. Look at my free video library. Over 1,200 free videos here on YouTube. Go look at other FMA YouTube channels. Tell me somebody has given you more than what I've given for free. Not only have I given the quantity of the videos, but I also make sure that I give quality instruction and or demonstration of my videos so that you can follow along. This channel has never been about me showing off my skills or my knowledge. Yes, I've done some promotional videos to try to get people to come train with me or to go train with somebody. But this entire channel of over 1,200 plus free videos on this channel have been about quality and quantity of instruction for you to be able to actually follow. Tell me how many people in my space have given you that for nothing. And then people will have the audacity to ask me for sparring videos, which I've also given and nobody wants to watch. And I've also made it where my hosts that host me out for seminars, like my friend Keenan's becoming a good friend of mine in Long Beach, Washington. If you are in Washington and you want to train Kali, either go to Seattle and train with John. You're limited on time there. I think he's planning to leave Seattle, or go see Keenan and train with Keenan. Those are the people that I have personally trained with, and that is why I can recommend those people. I know the quality of those people. I know the quality of their training, and I know the quality of their heart. I know the quality of their intention that they will give you. That's why I will recommend those people. But Keenan, who is hosting me, doesn't pay me anything. I have to pay my way to go there, to go train with you. So Fred that is attending, I'm paying myself to go train, to go teach. Like, that comes out of mine. Yeah, I get a tax write-off. I don't get a write-off 100% of it. I still have to pay. I don't get that money back. I still have to pay, okay? I still pay. And some of these seminars and some of these training camps, I don't make money on. In fact, some of these seminars, it costs me hundreds of dollars in the end for me to go there and to train with you, to teach you, to share you, to give you more. Where most of my competitors in this space, their hosts have to pay them. They have to pay them for the training. They have to pay their airfare. They have to pay their room and board. They have to pay for their basic meals. When I would bring out my teachers, that's what I had to do. I had to pay for their travel. I had to pay for their food. I had to pay for their training. I had to figure out how to market it. I had to pay for my marketing, took the time to do it. And by the way, when it costs you a few $100s to come and train with me, and maybe a few $100s in traveling and stuff, maybe it costs you between $600 to $1,000 realistically to come and train with me for 3 days. It would cost me thousands of dollars to bring one of my teachers to my school. Minimum of $3,000 to bring a teacher to my school. And for the most part, with my competitors, their hosts are paying thousands of dollars to bring their teachers to their school for you to pay a couple $100 to train with. If they make money off of that seminar, it's a very little bit of money. Maybe a few $100, maybe $1,000. It ain't a lot of money. Okay? I can do that now. The reason I can do that is yes, there are business choices that I made. Yeah, I get to claim it, have some tax write-offs on my travel and stuff. If Keenan hosts my seminar, if he pays my way, I don't get to write that off. So for tax-wise, the way that this country works with taxes, yeah, that helps me out. And I'm able to do that because of what I've built online. I am able to sacrifice 40 to 50 grand a year for my inner triangle that they don't have to pay me because of the YouTube channel, because of my online courses. And I appreciate that a millionfold by the people that support the channel. And that is why I'm able to keep doing what I do. I've always been transparent about this. I've never hidden this at all. I've made a decent living at this. Probably, honestly, more than the average FMA teacher. I know that. makes at this. I've been doing this a long time. It's been successful as far as that goes. But to be honest, to be 100% honest, I haven't been happy with the art itself. You know, I have not been happy with I mean, so many people. I mean, this channel is coming up to 216,000 subscribers, tens of millions of views. And out of all those people, I've trained with maybe a few hundred. I mean, what does that tell you what people want? Right? Are people looking for the education? You know, like what are like, I understand that it could be scary, it could be intimidating to attend a training camp or a seminar with somebody that you don't know. Maybe you see them on YouTube a lot. You create a story about them in your head. You hear stories about Kali Center, ITC, and their training, like what Paul and Tom and Ollie and these guys, you know, these upper advanced guys do. And I understand it's intimidating sometimes, and it could be scary to go into an unfamiliar place. You know, you're walking into the unknown, and it costs, yes, it costs a little bit of money to do that in time. But that's part of the training. Like, we've all had to do that. I remember my very first martial arts class when I was 6 years old, and I remember being nervous and scared walking into that class. I remember other JKD and I remember the first time training with my boxing coach, Jim Danella, one of the best teachers I've ever had in my life, by the way, as far as martial arts goes. I didn't spend a whole lot I didn't spend years and years and years with him, but he was one of the best, highest quality teachers and coaches I've ever had in my life. It was Jim Danella, back in Chicago. And I remember the first time training with him. We were training at Elite Defense Systems. I was a beginner student. I believe he just came back from Iraq, or he was going to Iraq. He was a Marine. And he's like, hey, man, you want to do some boxing, man? I need a sparring buddy. Dude, I was scared shitless because I knew who this fucking guy was. He was smaller than me, fucking fast, and I was afraid. I was like, sure, dude. And because I was afraid, I'm like, that's why I have to do this. And that dude fucking punched me in the liver, dude. So, oh my gosh, dude. He made me throw up. I mean, it was not the first time I threw up in training, but it was painful, dude. I remember that. And it was one of the best experiences of my life. He's like, hey, man, I'll teach you boxing, man. I need a student, man. I could brush up on my skills. And I'm like, dude, yeah, dude, I need to train with you, dude. Like, you just totally beat the shit out of me. And, like, I want that. I want that skill. And you just did it. You proved it to me. And I need to train with you. Yeah, like, what do you want in return, dude? I'll pay you. And he says, well, just do some, give me some weapons training. Oh my God, dude. Like, I'm basically, in my opinion, I'm basically stealing this training from you. Like, holy shit. Yeah. You just want to exchange for some weapon training? Okay. That's freaking awesome, dude. Right? Like, but that's what happens when you attend stuff. Right? The connections that you could possibly make are intangible. You can't get that online. You can't get that anywhere else. You know, and like, I get it. I understand in this day and age the financial hardships and the fear of travel and the fear of being out in public. I mean, this week alone, a lot of fucked up shit happened. I understand it. But that's courage, isn't it? I mean, if there isn't fear, then it's not courage. I mean, I don't know. You tell me, what stops you from going out and training? What stops you from meeting somebody and attending a training camp? Don't tell me it's money and time. Anybody that wants to go can figure out how to make a few $100 and go. Anybody can get the time and make it happen if they want to go. It's got to be something else that is stopping you. I mean, I've had to figure out the money and the time thing myself. All of us have had to do that. So it's not time and it's not money. What is it really that is stopping people from going out and training this art? I know this art is intimidating. I mean, all martial arts are intimidating to some degree. But I understand how Kali is superiorly intimidating. I mean, this is a weapon art. This is not a weapon-based art. This is a weapon art. We put the weapon in your hand immediately. And when you're looking at the context of what this art really is, right? I mean, this is the context of the art. Not this. Not this. This is. And I understand how scary this fucking thing is. You know, I did a collaboration video years ago with one of my buddies, Alex Embry, up in Northern Illinois when he had his BJJ school. He was a BJJ black belt, Woodstock SWAT team member, defensive tactics instructor, really good guy, highly skilled martial artist with real field experience of handling really bad people. And him and I did a video. You can find it. It's available. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in my 1,200 plus free videos here on YouTube. And we did a video, Kali and BJJ, knife on the ground. And the reason we did that video is because a week or two before that video, there was an incident in the subway of New York where a grappling guy took a guy down to the ground. Maybe you guys remember this. This had to be around somewhere between 2017, 18, probably around that time is when we made this video. And this guy took this dude down onto the ground in the subway of New York, put him in an armbar, and the guy reached around with his knife and stabbed him and killed him, killed the grappler. And man, this video circulated around law enforcement. It circulated around the BJJ and the grappling communities. It circled around the Kali, the FMA communities, and the JKD communities, and the self-defense communities. And him and I did this video. And during that video, I took my pocket knife out, my real Spyderco knife, the one that I carry with me. And the comments, all the BJJ people that commented on that video were like, this is irresponsible bullshit training with a real knife. You never train. You never do this with a real knife. And all of the FMA people were like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, he's literally showing you the reality of what this stuff really is. There is no better content with this stuff than this video right here. And basically what was going on is the FMA community was expressing their respect for the reality of the knife, and the BJJ community was expressing their fear of the reality of the knife when I took my actual knife out in that video. We didn't move around with it. I looked at Alex and I said, are you going to be a superhero now? Because they're over there. They're on the other side. But when you have a rubber training knife, everybody's a fucking superhero against that. Everybody's a superhero against a piece of rattan when you have fencing masks and hockey gloves on. But when you pull out something like this, nobody's a superhero anymore when this comes out. And you will be afraid. I'm afraid. That's why I train it. Okay? Like, that's the reality of it. You know, you have these things that happen in life, these violent attacks that we are exposed to because of social media and YouTube and the whole internet. With these weapons, with the knife. This just happened, people. This just fucking happened again. And people, then you got a spike in self-defense. And where does everybody go for their self-defense training? You watch a vicious fucking animal attack an innocent person with a knife, kill them. And then where do you go for your self-defense training? You go to the local MMA gym. You go to the BJJ school. You go to the karate studio. You go to the kung fu school. You avoid the fucking knife. You do not go to the Kali school. You do not go to the people that have been educating in this exact thing. You don't go there. You avoid it because it's scary shit. Because yes, who wants to deal with the reality of that situation, the vulnerability of being human? What's that one song? The border of safety. That's where you find your peace, is in your own border of safety. Right? Is where you find your peace. And that's where everybody wants to be. It's where I want to be. But if you're going to go seeking out edged weapon education, why are you going to people that do not train and specialize in edged weaponry? It makes no sense to me. Right? I've had law enforcement people come and train with me who are like, I'm not going to do what you do. I don't agree with the way you're doing it because we were taught this in the academy. And that's why you guys are failing against the knife. Call it what it is. Then I have a few of the smart law enforcement that come and train with me. We do weapon retention. I should probably bring some of these guys on. Maybe if they're not law enforcement anymore. They're gone from that profession. They could talk about it now. Maybe I'll bring some of them on. Maybe I'll bring, and do that. And they could talk about their experiences of training with me versus what their training was at the academy and then versus what they were applying on the real fucking streets. I'm not trying to promote me teaching cops here. I have no interest in government contracts, by the way. I don't need their couple thousands of dollars. My competitors, Jared Wahangi and Doug Marcata and whoever the fuck wants to go do that stuff, they can go do it. They probably need that 10 grand or whatever more than I do. That's not what I'm trying to do here. Go train with them. Go train with them, right? Train with whoever it is that you want to train with in this stuff. But it's just, for me, I'm not understanding the logic behind not wanting or not seeking the education, the real education of this stuff, and hiding behind a computer screen or a phone screen and commenting, where are the sparring videos? We never see the reality of this stuff. Well, you do see the reality of this stuff. You just see it from the hands of bad people with fucked up people with bad intentions on public transportation. That is Kali. That's where you're seeing it. Okay, you're just not seeing it from the good person perspective because we're not out there doing that shit. And I'm not out there trying to display that stuff for that fucking asshole to be able to see. Come train. That person's never going to train with me. Never. Okay? At best, they might come to a seminar and try to kill me, but they're not going to come and train with me. Okay? So you're not going to get that from people like me. You have to come and train with me in person to get the real education of that. And if you're seeking, hey, dude, I just want to train. I want to do some stick work. I want to, just learn some patterns and improve my flow. That's fantastic. That's a beautiful part of the art to explore and express and train and develop. And that is enough. In my perspective, not everybody has to train this art to become an ultimate fighter of this stuff, and blade fighter and knife fighter and good swordsman and all. No. If you just want to do the Sinawali drills and build your flow and enhance coordination, if that is enough for you, that's enough. That's enough. But people that are seeking application, if you're seeking to prove, look, one of two things, right? Going back what I said an hour ago now. I can't believe it's already been this long. So what happens when you rant. But when you are requesting videos like that, you are either A, again, seeking education, or B, you are seeking to prove or disprove something of the art or of yourself. Either get a feeling or run away from a feeling. And there is no better way to gain the education or to prove or disprove this art than come and do it in person. And the fact that I'm going to Washington State, I am going to Washington State. So this person that made the comment earlier today that sparked this whole live, because it is very important, and it's a good comment, and it is fair. It's a fair comment. And I agree with the comment 1,000%. That's why I started Kali Center, and that's why I still do in-person training events. But this particular person, come to my seminar, my camp, my 3-day camp in Washington, Long Beach, Washington, September 26th through the 28th. There is no better place in this country to do it, because Washington is a consent mutual combat state. So if you really want to experience the fullness of Kali, we can fucking do that there if that's really what you want. Okay? No better state to do that in than Washington State. Consensual mutual combat state. So we can throw the gear on, we can spar, we can fight as hard as you want. I am happy to oblige you on that. We'll do a round under your conditions, and then we'll do a round under my conditions, because that's fair, right? Because you probably won't want to do a round under my conditions, my training. But we can do that. And I'm happy to do that in person. All right, let me go ahead and go through this. I'm sure we got some fun comments. I won't go through all the way in the beginning. Big fan, India. Man, India, you guys are amazing, dude. Like, you guys are absolutely incredible. You know, you guys are my... I believe India is my 3rd highest viewed country on YouTube. It's obviously United States, Philippines, India, I believe then United Kingdom and Germany. Those are the top 5 highest viewed countries on my YouTube channel. India, you guys are freaking rocking. I mean, the stuff that I'm watching and stuff that's coming out of India right now with martial arts and all that stuff and movement practice, and like, you guys are hungry. And I would highly, highly advise and suggest, and I know it's really hard because of currency exchange, I would highly suggest you guys to travel and train when at any possible you can. And anybody from India, because of the currency exchange, if you want to attend one of my train camps, if you want to come and train with me in person, contact me and I will work with you. I will financially work with you because you guys are deserving it right now. I use triangles for footwork and for blading my body shape. Triangles really are the foundation for angles. Yes, triangle, it is literally, yes, triangles is, Kali is the triangle system. Your channel is one of the first FMA channels I found on YouTube, as it should be, because I have built it to try to be that. My friend Robert was a police instructor, and he was the guy who got me into FMA. He died from COVID. In-person training, aka dojo time, isn't something you can replace. It's nice to offer an online course, but yes. That comment just reveals he's never been to any training group. No instructor. Yeah, I know. You know, and a lot of people, you know, this is social media and this is the internet. A lot of people are just getting their education based on their martial arts education only solely through YouTube videos. I don't know how you do that. You're humble is why I chose to watch and learn from your channel. Not a fan of Steven Seagal. I might not enjoy a video with him, but I'd forgive you if you did a video of him in a positive light. I'd only do a video of anybody in a positive light. I might be able to catch up to you one day in Florida. Maybe. Here's the thing, Mark Taylor. Sounds good. But you got to take the word might out. It's got to be I will. It has to be I'm going to. It can't be might. Look, when you leave yourself a way out, you're never going to do it. Okay? This is important. If the education and the skill is something that is actually truly important to you, if it's a truth, you won't use the word might. You'll get rid of it. It will happen. You will make it happen. When I hear, I've been doing this for a long time. I have been teaching since I was 23, 24 years old. Almost 20 years. It was a 17, 8. I mean, Tom's been, I've been teaching before I started training with Tom. 17 years, 18 years that I've been teaching martial arts. FMA. I have heard all of the terms. I have heard might. I have heard I love this stuff. I have heard this is exactly what I've been looking for. I have heard all of the terms that equate to I will never see you or I will never see you again. Okay? Trust me. I've heard them all, or pretty much all of them. I know what they are. And in my vocabulary, okay, me, Tom, like we have made the conscious decision to remove certain words out of our vocabulary when it comes to us in action. We've removed them. There's no might. I am never going to might train. Okay? Like, when all that stuff with Jake Mace was going on, Jake Mace is not, he's not a friend of mine. He's not a close friend of mine. He's a distant acquaintance now. We don't stay in communication anymore. I haven't physically talked or digitally talked with Jake Mace for years now. But when all that stuff was going on, and people were challenging Jake to a fight, I was the only person that put my money where my mouth was. I was not interested in challenging, fighting Jake Mace. But I did the one thing all these, I'm going to use the word cowards, because they are, all these, that these cowards never did. What was that guy? Freddie something and Salvador something. I don't even know what the fuck remember what these guys' names were. One of these guys, that Freddie guy, was a freaking Chicago guy. Come on, dude. Right? But like, these guys would threaten Jake and I'm going to fight you. I want to fight you. And I mean, how's a guy really going to respond to that? Come on. All these people, millions of views, thousands of people criticizing Jake, calling him names and all this shit. I'm the only one that spent $1,000 to fly out, get a hotel, contact him first, fly out to where he lived at the time, Phoenix, Arizona, get a hotel, pay the money, and go meet the guy face to face. And like, dude, sidekick me. I'm like, we're going to have conversation. We're going to hike. We're going to work out. We're going to train. And if I wanted to, I could have picked a fight with him. I could, it would have been very easy for me to do that. That's not what my intention was. I wanted to get to know the person that everybody was talking shit about. And I was the only person out of the years, well, I never talked shit about Jake, but I was the only person that did that with Jake Mace. Do you guys realize that? So while some people on my channel at that time criticized me for going out there and doing a couple videos with Jake, I'm never, fuck Collie Center. He went out and did a collaboration with Jake Mace, Jake the Fake, and blah, 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 blah. I am the only person that actually that flew to his house to meet the guy face to face. Have an actual conversation with him, experience what he does day in, day out, 24 hours a day, hike with him, train with him, handle his high energy. I was the only person out of 1.8 million subscribers on his channel. At the time that I did that, I think it was like, he had like 700 or 800,000 subscribers. I was the only human being on the freaking planet that went and met the guy face to face. out of all of the hard-ass people that were talking shit to him over the internet. I didn't have to talk shit. I just went there. I just physically got my ass there. I met him. I met his wife. I went back a few years later, met his now new wife before, when they were dating. Good people. All good people. I got nothing bad to say about it. I'm not a kung fu guy. I know nothing about kung fu. Very little. That's not my cup of expertise. But I did the one thing that nobody was willing to do. I didn't say maybe I'll go see Jake Mace. I said I'm going to go fucking meet this guy. And I did. I made it happen. And I learned a lot from him, by the way. Keep in mind the dojo needs to be everywhere with you, not just the brick and mortar ones. Your study training can never simply be a part-time or sometime endeavor. It's an all-time journey. Yeah, but when does it become a part of your physical reality where you're making contact with another human being in this stuff? I agree, but there's a little more to that. Are there people, FMA on YouTube, I should avoid? Not asking to name names, but not really. I am never going to say that you should avoid somebody because I'm not going to pontificate my ideas and my beliefs onto somebody else as gospel, as something that you need to follow. You need to do your own research. You need to do your own process of validation and your own process of elimination. There are people, in my opinion, that are better than others, but that doesn't mean that the people that are lesser, that they should necessarily be avoided. You can still learn what not to do. You can still learn how not to be by understanding those people and experiencing those people. Now, there are people out there who have Taekwondo schools, they're Taekwondo professionals, and they watch FMA videos like mine here on YouTube, and then they decide to start to open up a Kali class at their Taekwondo school. And they make videos and they put videos up to promote their school and their classes and all that stuff for their Taekwondo stuff in their Kali Extra class. Now, most of the time, 9 out of 10 times, those people, I hope they're not trying to say that I'm doing this all for the money, because those people are clearly doing it for the money. They are creating another class, an add-on class, to get their current clientele to either A, pay more money for, or B, try to keep them interested to maintain student retention so they can keep more money. And the reason that I would know that is because when their videos do pop up and I do click on and watch their videos, I can see that this person has never stepped foot in a Kali seminar class ever. They certainly have never stepped foot in one of mine, but because I tag certain terminologies and very few little certain things that I do in my content for the last 11 years, I know when they got some information from one of my videos. And I've never met the person. Never met them, never trained with them. And by their mechanics, I can tell this person has never actually trained a day of Kali in their life. They watched videos, they mimicked these movements, and they decided to open up a Kali class at their Taekwondo school. That's a problem for Filipino martial arts. That's a problem for Kali as an art. Again, that's another reason why this art is dying. Because of people like that. The person does not have any true intention of learning the actual art and getting the education. Their only intention is to get by with their own clients and make some fucking money. Make profit. Even if it's a little bit. Because I'll tell you, they ain't making much off of that. Now, what that person really should be doing, if they have a true intention for learning the art of Kali, get your fucking ass to real training. Why? Because you're a freaking teacher, dude. You have a school. You own a freaking Taekwondo dojang, right? You owe yourself and your students the decency. And if you're going to go and open up a Kali class, get your fucking ass to some real Kali training and get some real freaking training. You owe that to yourself. You owe that to the decency of your students, of your clients, and you owe that to the decency of your own Taekwondo. Okay? I would never do that. I would never try to learn BJJ on the fucking internet and then open up a BJJ class here. I would never do that. I wouldn't even think. That wouldn't even cross my mind to scam people. That's a scam. That's a scam. So those people exist. Should you avoid them? No. You should go seek them out so that way you can learn what not to do. Okay, you have to validate, you qualify your teachers, and you make sure you dequalify the people that should not be your teachers. Don't avoid anything. Walk into the storm head on. Now, there's times, here's my irresponsible teacher or training partner is. It's not really a teacher because it's just times me and Tom decided to train back in the Chicago days. We would literally be training outside. Storms are coming, sky's turning green, tornado sirens are going off. Tom and I literally look at each other and go, well, if the tornado's going to suck us up and kill us, I got to tell you, Tom, there's no better person I'd rather die with or die doing what I love with. And Tom and I would just train. Keep on training, man. We're going to die at some point. In some point, somehow, some way. At some point, my heart's going to stop on its own, or someone's going to get me, or nature's going to get me, or if I get to do that with somebody I love and trust doing the thing that I love and hate the most, fuck, man. Well, we might as well. That Taekwondo guy, he ain't training this art like that. Maybe he trains Taekwondo like that, but he ain't training Kali like that. So, you know. Now, I don't think I'd do the crazy shit that I did in my 20s. Nowadays. But I did. Tom and I did some pretty crazy shit, training-wise. So, yeah, I mean, don't avoid anything, man. Go in the storm. When it's going to storm, man, just go straight into it. Go find the eye of the storm. You know, this last ITC back in June, I mean, it started hailing on it. I mean, dude, it was dangerous. We shouldn't have done that. And not everybody had to. Some people, and we did end up taking cover when we were like, okay, this is getting real stupid. Okay? But like, dude, we've trained in conditions where we probably shouldn't have trained in. But we never said you had to. Some of us just decided to do it. I don't know, man. There's 3 fights, right? Human versus human. Human versus nature. And human versus himself, right? The real quote of that, in this day and age, I got to be all correct and shit, but the real quote is that man versus nature, man versus himself. Replace the word man with woman or whatever the fuck you want to replace it with. Okay, whatever play on words you need to use to make you feel better, go ahead and do that. But the thing is that all 3 of those fights are going on all the time. Me versus another, me versus nature, and me versus myself. So we do that in our training. And it's something that I choose to do. It's something that Tom and Ollie, that these guys choose to do when they decide to choose to do it. If they want to train in a hailstorm that's got 1.5 to 2 inch size hail that can literally break your optical orbit, it's like it's breaking air conditioning units on the RVs at the campground. Like this is fucking dangerous, and it is stupid. It is 100% stupid to do. But dude, it's me versus nature, and it's what I want from my training. I don't have to spend the whole time in the storm doing it, but I got to get a taste of this, and it's fucking scary. And I got to tell you that, man. Like it's a lot scarier that 2-inch hail coming down at you that you have no idea where it's going to land, where it's going to hit. That's a hell of a lot scarier than the man with high-level collie skills standing in front of you swinging a stick at you. That hell is a lot scarier because you have no idea. It is unpredictable at that point. But, you know, how do I have to modify the art so that I can protect myself as best as I can in these conditions? While I got this dude that's swinging at me, trying to hit me for real. By the way, no fencing mask on, no hockey gloves on. We might have had some hockey gloves on that day, but no fencing mask on. Just some sunglasses. Try to keep the hell out of our eyes. Temples exposed. Nose is exposed. It hurts. It freaking hurts. You know, we got welts all over us afterwards from the hail. It's just, you know, it's fun. It's what we do. It's what some of us do. You don't have to do that. And if you don't want to do that, we're not going to look less on you. We want you to have what you want out of your training. What you want is enough. Border is my problem. I cannot cross. I'm gonna be honest with you. Before this administration, the last administration, you could have crossed easily. And I did seminars. I did my training camps. I did all of that. So for 4 years, we had a very weak border, and anybody could have crossed it at any time. So at that time, that was not an excuse. Maybe you just found Collie Center now recently, but there are things you can do to properly cross the border and get in here and train with me. America is not shut off. You just, you know, you got to do things the right way, which respectfully so, as I should have to do coming into any other country. I agree with that. But yeah, I could see that being a difficult thing. It adds complication to it, but you might be able to find a way if you really want to. One of the last originals. Respect and thanks for your passion. Chris Chill. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. You the man. Bottom line, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. Yeah, that's actually you won't. In my experience, if you always do what you've always done, you will not always get what you've always got because you're actually going to diminish. Your body's actually going to keep falling apart if you're not improving it. There's no such thing as stagnation, guys. There's no such thing as stagnation. Okay, you're either going up or you're going down. If you are not improving yourself, you're going down. There's no such thing as flatlining. You know, as you think you're being stagnant, there's people like me and Tom and John and Sarah and Kaylee and Ben that are continuing our training, and we're going up. So your stagnation is actually becoming less and less and less and less and less. So you're not actually always getting what you're always going to get for not improving yourself. You're actually getting less. You're diminishing. It's just like money, you know, sitting under your mattress or sitting in the bank that's not keeping up with inflation, at least. It's just becoming worth less in value. And that's what's happening. That's really what's happening. There's no such thing as stagnation. You're either growing or you're falling. You're rising or you're falling down. I've used hitchhike if I really wanted to get out and train with people. Yeah, dude. Gotta find a way, man. That's the Kali. That's Kali, man. Find a way. Find a way to cheat. Find a way to one-up your opponent. Find a way to one-up yourself. Find a way to one-up all the odds stacked against you in this world, in this life. Find a fucking way and make shit happen. That's Kali. That is Kali. One-upmanship. I do flow for exercise and weight loss. Ryan Clark. Yeah, dude, me too. I don't flow for fighting anymore. I don't give a shit about that. I don't care about self-defense anymore. I mean, whatever. But for me, it's like, dude, it's the love of the art, the expression of the art. It's the exercise. It keeps my body strong. It keeps my mind sharp. It keeps the quality of life up. That's why I do it. I do the same thing, man. Same thing. It don't have to be about fight. Fighting is the minimal requirement for training this stuff. Imagine the honor of getting beaten up by an FMA instructor. Please beat us up. Oh, I'd love that. Dude, I've been beaten up so many times with my teachers, man. I tell you, it's a massive, massive training experience. That is not what I go and do. But, you know, when you want to go around and you ask me to go around, I'll go around with you however you want. You want to go with me as, you know, what I'm going to do, then I'll go with you at that degree. I'm not going to put my safety and my own health at risk. Okay, I'm not going to sit there and be like, you want to go 100%, but you want me to do like 10%. I'm not going to do that. I'll go at whatever percentage somebody wants to go. And actually, usually most of the time, if you're doing 100%, I'm not going to do my 100% anyways. I don't have to. Unless I have to, then I will. Take a look at the daily workout and wrist stretches. Super useful. I do it every day. Yeah, dude, those are like all the wrist pressing and stuff. That helped me out so much, Ryan Clark, on improving my wrist mobility and strength and all that stuff. So I am also glad to know that Keenan is up in Washington. Now it is up to me and to be responsible to get up there and train when I can. Fred, absolutely, my man. Absolutely. And that is absolutely the best attitude to have towards it. You know, wanting the skill, gotta go get it, man. Keenan's a good guy to go get it from, you know. Hopefully he'll keep training, keep growing his skill and learning more system and all that stuff. And who knows, maybe I'll get out there more and more. Maybe you and I will click, Fred, and we'll build a connection. Never know. But you're coming, so we're going to find out, right? And I'm excited about that. I'm sure you've heard this, Paul, but you remind me of the Mr. Ballin guy on YouTube. He seems cool. Yep, I've heard of all the lookalike stuff. Kung Fu is fine, but not that practical for self-defense or tournament fighting. FMA is much better, but we're all allowed our favorite arts. Chinese arts connected to meditation and swordsmanship. I don't know, man. If Jake Mace landed his sidekick on me, that would give me some trouble. I felt his sidekick. And I don't even know. I mean, maybe the guy wasn't even legit Kung Fu. I think he was. His sidekick felt pretty fucking legit. Dominic Izzo, Wing Chun, when I trained with him and some experience with him, I mean, he's a badass motherfucker with his Wing Chun. I wouldn't want to fight him empty-hand Wing Chun way. You know, I mean, the guy was a cop. He used his Wing Chun pretty successfully on the job. I mean, I wouldn't say that Kung Fu doesn't apply to self-defense. You know, I think a lot of it comes down to the practitioner themselves and what they're willing to put into their training and what they're willing to give to their system, art, style, whatever they call it. I think it has to do with that. I don't think it really has to do with the art itself. I mean, there's a lot of FMA out there that I could drop them off in downtown Chicago, man. They'd never fucking survive. They would never survive. And some of these guys are instructors, and that's not saying don't train with them. You can learn from them because it really comes down to the value of you as a practitioner, not the art itself. Everybody expresses the art differently. I remember training. I'll give you a little story here. I'm kind of really going in here on time here, almost 2 hours, but I'll kind of start cutting it down. But I'll give you a quick little one. I was in Dallas at an instructorship camp with a FMA group. Some of you could fill in the blanks on that if you know. And I was training with this guy. Here we go. Got another cancellation out of my online school. People sign up, people cancel all the time. But I was training with this guy, and I didn't know who he was. And during our training, he stops and he goes, "Man, you're really good at this stuff, man. You're really getting this stuff down. How long have you been doing this?" And at the time, I said, 11 months, that particular style, that particular system, BTK. I'll just fucking say it, PTK. There's no point in hiding anything, right? And this guy looks at me and he goes, "Man, I've been doing this for 7 years. And I'm still having a hard time understanding this stuff." This guy was a certified lock-on guru. And I'm like, dude, the only reason why you're sucking in the flow right now is because your 2 is too low. You're striking your 2 down, way the fuck down here, man. It's got to be here. 7 years, lock-on guru. I don't remember this guy's name. That's how important he was. Cool dude, nice dude. But getting instruction and mentoring, coaching from a person that was doing that system for 11 months, under that organization for 11 months, 7 years, certified. So it ain't the art, man. It ain't the art. It's you. It's the commitment and the devotion that is inside of you. It is the fire inside of you, and what you're willing to give to your training and take from it. That's what it is. That's the difference. You know, this isn't something that I necessarily want to do. I have to do it. You know, there's no motivation for me. Maybe there was in the beginning. There was in the beginning. I know what attached me to it after my first experience of it. Maybe I'll talk about that another day, or in person, I'll talk about that. But actually, I did make a video on that because somebody asked me, and then I just never released the video. And I'm like, I don't want to release that to the public. It's too personal. But dude, man, it's you, man. It's you. In the way that you train. What you train, how you train, the way that you train, it matters. It matters. It doesn't matter what you put on YouTube. It matters what you're actually doing. But it matters what's going on inside too. You know, it matters you confronting your own demons during the process. That matters. You know, and when you're training with the center, you know, when you come to one of my camps, especially like an ITC, you ain't gonna hide that. We may not know exactly what it is inside you, but we'll see it. We'll find it, because it's the truth, man. You can't hide the truth when you're training like that, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a big reason why a lot of some people, the people that do quit ITC, it's really the main reason why they quit. But this year, actually 2025, this was the first year we didn't have everybody completed ITC. This is the first year that we had it where everybody actually completed. Everybody that actually, well, I guess it wasn't, because we had someone that signed up that never showed up. So technically, I guess no, we had someone that didn't complete it. So no, never mind that. Scratch that. That's not accurate. And the farmer in the Philippines says she liked our niece more than the words Eskrima or Kali. She doesn't do martial arts, but can you explain the origin of these terms? Yes. So I'll do it real quick. So during the Spanish occupation of the Philippines, arnis de manos, armor of the hand. Arnis and eskrima are Spanish origin terms. So the Philippines was under Spanish rule for 333 years. It did not begin during the felling of Magellan. It happened when Legazpi came and took Cebu in 1565. Okay? Magellan was not a Spaniard. Magellan was a Portugal guy. He was Portuguese. He was commissioned by King Philip II to circumnavigate the globe and establish trade ports while he was circumnavigating the globe and trying to find the most efficient route around the world. That was what Magellan was to do. That's what he was commissioned to do. Magellan was not a master in Spanish warfare tactics. He was not a master in the destreza vulgar. He probably trained that stuff because a lot of people did that were under Spanish rule at the time. But no, he was not Legazpi. He was not a military tactician. Okay? So when Legazpi took the Philippines in 1565, it was in February of 1565. He anchored off of Cebu, November of 1564, and he waited until February of 1565 to take Cebu. And Legazpi was undefeated. Legazpi was a Spaniard. By the way, he came from New Spain. Mexico was commissioned out to go to the Philippines and take the Philippines, and then he did it. He took it. And that was the beginning of the Spanish occupation of the Philippines, and it lasted until 1898. So when you do the math, 1898 minus 1565, what do you get? 333 years about, right? 333 years. And that was the total of the Spanish occupation. Now, during that time, there's a lot. The Spanish did a lot of stuff. They brought in Christianity. Christianity is a very big part of La Verdadera Destreza. And they brought that in, and a lot of the terminologies influence. 333 years, guys. It's going to influence language. It's going to influence culture. It's going to influence a lot of things. And the Spanish called it eskrima. The Spanish called it arnis. And the Filipino culture are the ones that started identifying with that word because of that time. Okay? The Philippines was named, his name was Ray, I forgot his name. It was 1542, I believe, is when it was first called the Philippines. It was named after King Philip II of Spain. Before that time, it was the archipelago. And it was tribal, kind of just like the Native Americans here in the U.S. and North America. Okay, and all through the Americas. Kind of the same thing. Or like the Celtic, the Celt and Germanic tribes all through Europe, right? Very, very, very similar thing. So the name Arnis and Eskrima come from the Spanish occupation and origin, and that is what most of Filipino culture is going to remember directness of. I don't know how much of the Philippine culture actually remembers the Majapahit Empire, or that when Hinduism first came in. I think that came in between the 1st and 3rd BC. I don't know about the what was the clan, the Nahaja or whatever, the clan that came in from Petra Jordan that was branch off of the Phoenicians when they got to that side of the world. I really doubt that people from that land can remember the cultures from that far back. The Najapaha tribe? No, that was Majapahit. You'd have to look it up. There's a branch off of the Phoenicians. They came out of Petra Jordan, and they brought a lot of language and writing, scripture, all that stuff. They brought across that way. You can do your own research on it. But over time, I'm sure a lot of that stuff was lost, but most common history, Spanish history, is what people remember. And the Spanish outlawed the practice of eskrima arnis. That's what they called it. And the reason why you outlaw that isn't because of how dangerous it is. It is because that's what you do when you take over a country. Trust me, the Spanish did not fear fire hardened sticks. They were fighting this type of warfare. They were fighting against these types of people for a very long time, all through Mexico, all through Haiti, all through the Caribbeans. for decades before they got to the Philippines. Okay, and if you know anything about the Spanish history, back when it was Hispania, with the Romans, back with Iberia, with the Greeks, and all the tribal warfare between the Iberians, the Celt-Iberians, and the Celts, by this time, they were very, very well equipped and very experienced in this type of warfare, tribal warfare. So no. The Streza Vulgar was not afraid of fire-hardened sticks. Okay? It's just what you do when you take over countries, new lands. It's what you do. You minimize the chance of rebellion. Kali became, because Kali became a word, it was first used in the 1950s that we understand as recorded in a book. And it became the word to identify Filipino martial arts because there was a group of Filipino grandmasters that did not want to associate terminology with the Spanish anymore. They wanted their own terminology, the word Kali, because, yeah, it actually does work. Kali is what was, I guess, used, and it is what has been agreed on. So nowadays, you have the three common terminologies, Kali, Arnis, and Eskrima. Some people will sit there and say Kali is not the real term. I don't know. The Philippine Force Recon Marines, the military of the Philippines, the ones that are using this art in warfare today, use the term Kali. So in my opinion, the term Kali has become a real legitimate term, probably the today correct term in identifying Filipino martial arts in a single word. That's my take on it. Some people agree, some people disagree. But that is the history of the words. So, my battery's going to die, so I'm going to kind of jet out of here. Kali is an old word. It's not just from the Philippines, the Greeks. All right, the word Kali in Greek means good. You attach it to like good morning, good night. You know, I had a good friend of mine that was Greek trying to teach me Greek. For me, very difficult language to learn. But Kali is a very old word. It dates way back into the Phoenicians. It goes way back. Long, thousands of years. So it did not originate out of the Philippines. Okay, it's a very old word. So, cool. Did you ever consider giving seminars outside of the U.S.? I have. Back in, I think was it 2019? David Morels brought me out to Belgium. We had a great time. I was there. We did a 3-day training camp, and then I did another training day on the other side of the country. We had people from Germany, the Netherlands, France. We had people from all over the freaking place come out and train with me for those 3 days. And from the UK, I just have not had anybody that had any serious interest in actually bringing me back to Europe or overseas. So, you know, I got my passport ready to go, but I don't know what it is. For some reason, people do not contact me to have me come out and do seminars and train with them. You know, very few people. Keenan, Chris, you know, inner triangle candidates, they're kind of been like the only one. I stopped trying to reach out to people because it's just, it's literally like, I'm just shouting into the wind. So maybe one day someone will actually be serious about learning the art, or learning at least my expression, the Kali Center expression of the art, and actually be serious about bringing me out again. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't really fucking care anymore which way it goes. I'm going to train. I'm going to do what I can. And people like Keenan that want to actually be serious and take me out, and people that want to attend, they'll attend, and they'll find a way. I've had people come to America from other countries to come train with me, from Norway, from Austria, from UK, from all over. And you can do that. I've gone to other countries to train. You can come from other countries to train. You can figure out a way to do that. I'm happy to help any way that I can. Where there's a will, there's a way. Get rid of these words that will limit you or stop you from doing it, and you can make it happen if it is what you really want, and if it's really truly important to you. You can make it happen. So I don't know, man. That's all I got. You know, I haven't been to the West Coast in a long time. I think this is actually probably my Is this my first seminar I'm teaching on the West Coast? Yeah, because Keenan's the first person that was really serious enough to want to bring me in. I had another guy that wanted to bring me out a few years ago, but there was a conflict there because he happened to want to bring me out. We scheduled it for the worst weekend to go to Portland. It was during the Rose Fest, which is the biggest fest in Portland. For that weekend, you couldn't get a hotel room for anything less than $800 a night. And I told the guy, let's just reschedule it. He never did. So it's what happens sometimes. But most of the people that are serious about training it, they've been on the east side of the Mississippi. So the people that want my attention, that's where I'm going to give it. It's that simple. So I hope to see you in Washington. I also have another workshop. It's a one-day workshop going on in St. Joseph, Michigan. So anybody that asks me about training in Michigan, I will be there October 12th. For a one-day workshop. I have an inner triangle training and an inner triangle candidate training that whole weekend, a camp for them, 10th, 11th, and the 12th. But we're doing a workshop open to the public. Kaylee is hosting it. I am teaching it. We're doing that on the 12th from 8 a.m. to like 5 p.m. I don't know, maybe we'll go to 6 or 7, but we'll at least do 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So you can sign up for that as well. You have to be invited to the inner triangle training to do the inner triangle training. We're not going to let first timers into that because I don't know how fucking serious you are. And I don't want to waste my time with people that are going to be one-time shows when I'm putting my time, dedicated time into my inner triangle. Okay. Our inner triangle. People that have proven to me their devotion to training and really want this stuff. So I could see you there too. So I'll be in Michigan, October 12th. I'll be in Washington, September 26th through the 28th. Love to see you there. Would love to meet you, train with you. I will personally, physically get one-on-one training with you, coaching with you, whatever you want. Whatever you want. Okay? I am happy to do that with you. And I'll see you back here, I guess, when I see you in the next video, on my next live. I'm not on Instagram anymore. I don't do Facebook anymore. Deleted Facebook. Don't touch Instagram anymore, so you can't get a hold of me there. Email me. Go to KaliCenter.com. Email me. That's how you get a hold of me now. Or email me at paul@KaliCenter.com. That's how you email me. That's how you get a hold of me. And sign up for one of the training camps if you want to come out and train. Experience how Kali Center is different. Portland is freaking chaotic. Yes, it is. I got to fly. I'm flying into Portland. That is the one thing I'm not actually looking forward to about going to Washington is my flight into Portland and out of Portland. But got to do what you got to do. So I used to skateboard the bad neighborhoods of Chicago. So, probably can't be any worse or much worse than that. So it's all right. But I want to train. I want to meet Fred. So I will go through Portland to go meet Fred and train with Fred and hang out with him for 3 days and everyone else that's going to be there. So anyone else that wants to come, registration's open. I'm going to close registration probably somewhere between the 22nd through the 24th. I don't know which day yet. I'll do it when I decide to do it or when I can get to it. But I hope to see you. I hope to train with you, and I hope to spread the education and the benefits and rewards of Kali. All right, my friends, it's been a pleasure.